I'm lying in the hospital after a car crash, and my boyfriend says he's going to defend the driver who nearly killed me. The last person I expected to go against me in court was the man who used to zip up my dress before work. I'm not kidding. That's how far we fell. 1 minute, I'm being cut out of a wrecked car, and the next, he's standing across from me in a suit trying to argue that the guy who almost killed me wasn't really at fault. And yeah, I said almost. I didn't die. I just got messed up enough to rethink my entire life. The crash happened fast. The driver was drunk. He ran a red light. I remember the headlights more than the sound. After that, it was pain and confusion and a weird calm that didn't make sense. I blacked out and woke up in a hospital room with a band around my wrist and no idea how bad it was. I couldn't move my leg, my ribs felt like they were folding in, and my hand looked like it had gone through a blender. I thought about calling my boyfriend. Not my mom. Not my friends. Him. Because he was the one I thought I could count on. We'd been solid. Or maybe I was just stupid. He didn't come right away. Said he had work. I was still out of it, so I let that slide. He texted once or twice like I was out with the flu, not recovering from an accident that sent 2 other people to the ER. I assumed he was handling it in his own way. He's a lawyer. Always cool, always practical. I thought maybe he was just trying to stay composed for my sake. Then I found out who the drunk driver had hired for his defense. I thought it was a mistake. I thought someone was joking or misinformed or mixing up names. But no. It was him. He didn't even warn me. Just showed up in court with his client, straight-faced, fully prepared to tear my entire case apart like it was just another job. No heads up, no apology, nothing. That's when everything shifted. I didn't feel betrayed. Not right away. I felt stupid. Like I'd been walking around with a blindfold on, and everyone else had already seen what I didn't want to see. I kept thinking back to little things. The way he checked his phone at dinner. How fast he changed the subject when I mentioned the crash. How he started sleeping on the edge of the bed. Stuff that didn't scream betrayal until it clicked all at once. He wasn't neutral. He didn't care about being professional. He picked a side, and it wasn't mine. I hired a lawyer. I didn't hesitate. I didn't think about what this would do to our relationship, or if there was even still one left. I just did it because I had to. Because someone had to care about what happened to me. Someone had to take this seriously. And if it wasn't going to be him, then I'd make sure it was me. There's no way to explain what it feels like to go through something traumatic and watch the person you trusted most try to turn it into a paycheck. It's not just betrayal. It's humiliation. It's the moment you realize you were never really on the same team. I sat in that courtroom, broken bones and all, and listened while he tried to spin the facts. It wasn't a misunderstanding. It wasn't complicated. It was personal. And he knew it. The crash changed everything. But not because of the injuries, or the surgeries, or the weeks I spent learning to walk without wincing. It changed everything because it showed me exactly who he was. He didn't flinch. He didn't stall. He just suited up and got ready to make me look like an inconvenience in his client's narrative. He showed up to court like nothing was personal. Like he wasn't the one who used to be with me. That's when I knew something was wrong. He looked different in court. He stood so calmly next to the guy who almost killed me like it meant nothing. He tried to keep it clinical. That was his strategy. Strip the emotion out of it. Reduce everything to technicalities. Maybe I wasn't wearing my seatbelt correctly. Maybe the driver didn't see the light. Maybe the injuries weren't as serious as the hospital claimed. He kept his voice flat, like this was all routine, like I wasn't sitting right there with metal still in my leg. I watched the jury while he talked. I watched their faces shift. Not in my favor. Not in his. Just confusion. Like they were waiting to figure out what kind of story this was. And that's when I got it. He thought he could make me disappear by turning me into paperwork. My lawyer didn't let that happen. She didn't shout. She just laid it all out. The police report, the blood alcohol level, the traffic footage, the damage to the car, the list of surgeries, the recovery timeline, the doctor's notes. She didn't have to make it emotional. The facts were enough. By the time she was done, even the judge looked uncomfortable. And him? My ex? He tried to hold it together, but his arguments kept slipping. He repeated himself. He reached for points that didn't land. The verdict came down fast. The driver was found fully liable. I won the settlement. No delays. No appeals. Just a clean, hard finish. But there was no satisfaction in it. I just sat there, barely blinking, listening to the judge read it out, and I didn't feel anything. I thought maybe I would. I thought maybe I'd look over at him and feel like I got some kind of closure. But there was nothing left to close. It wasn't that we were done. It was that whatever we had was already gone before the first hearing. I just hadn't accepted it yet. The worst part? He never apologized. Not once. Not even off the record. Not even a glance that said, "I know I crossed a line." He packed up his briefcase like this was just another day. Like he didn't just try to dismantle the woman he used to claim he loved. I walked out of that courthouse alone. Not because I had no one, but because I wanted to be alone. I didn't answer my phone. I didn't go to lunch with my lawyer. I didn't text anyone the news. I just went home and sat in silence. And just when I thought the story was done, just when I thought I could finally detach from all of it, I found out something else. His next client sued him for malpractice. Different case. Same arrogance. He missed deadlines, forgot documents, gave bad advice. And that one didn't end quietly. That one went public. People talked. Firms pulled back. His career move? It backfired. He didn't just lose me. He started losing everything. He started texting 3 days after he lost. I didn't answer. Just saw his name pop up again, and again, like he thought persistence would fix what pride destroyed. Then the calls started. Missed calls, voicemails, back-to-back rings at 2 in the morning like he was finally starting to panic. Too late. He could have said something before he stood in front of a courtroom and tried to make it look like I'd exaggerated the crash. Before he called my injuries minor. Before he suggested maybe I'd exaggerated for attention. He could have chosen me then. He didn't. Now I was supposed to care that he felt bad? I listened to one voicemail. That was enough. He said he didn't expect it to go that far. Said it was about the money. About his career. Said it wasn't personal. I didn't cry. There was nothing left to say. He kept reaching out. Maybe he thought I'd break if he sounded desperate enough. Maybe he thought I missed him. Maybe he thought the silence meant there was still a door half open somewhere. But I wasn't angry. That would have made it about him again. I wasn't hurt anymore either. That part already burned out weeks ago. All I felt was distance. Clean and sharp. Like I'd finally stepped out of something I didn't even realize had been closing in on me for years. He didn't betray me when he lost the case. He betrayed me when he took it. So when he showed up at my building, yes, he actually showed up. I didn't answer the door. I watched him through the peephole. He waited a long time. Just standing there like maybe the right version of him would show up if he stayed still long enough. I didn't open it. I didn't even move. I waited until he left. That was my answer. It's weird how fast someone can disappear from your life once you stop making excuses for them. One day they're everything. That's what it became. I blocked his number. I archived the case. I paid off the last of my medical bills. I moved on. And no, I'm not glad it happened. I'm not going to pretend it was some gift. It sucked and was really painful. What do you think? Is it ever okay for your partner to defend someone who hurt you, just because it's their job?